What's going on, guys? Platinum Cards in the house, and recently my friend has retired from the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's unfortunate, it's sad. However, he let me keep his Battlin Boxer deck, and I went ahead and made some changes of it for myself, and I wanted to go ahead and show you guys my official Battlin Boxer deck. Now, just a disclaimer, this isn't going to be the main, because I've seen a lot of Battlin Boxer decks, and they use a lot of the equip spells and whatnot. I'm going to focus this mostly on the Xyz monsters, so I'm not going to be using equip spells in this situation. However, I think that deck is also a really nice one. That's also something worth checking out. And of course, if you like what you see, don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. And let's go ahead and get into it, guys. So, first of all, I like to run 3 copies of Battlin Boxer Gearhead. Now, this card is super dope. When this card is normal summon, you can send 1 Battlin Boxer from your deck to the graveyard. Once per turn, this face-up attack position monster cannot be destroyed by battle. Now, our main aim of this entire deck is just to get into Xyz as quickly as possible, right? So, what we're trying to do is, and this deck overall likes to dump a lot of monsters in the grave as well, so it works really, really well as like a Foolish Burial type card. So next of all, I like to run 3 copies of Battlin Boxer Switch Hitter. And now this card's effect is when it's normal summon, you can target 1 Battlin Boxer monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. You cannot special summon any monsters to the turn you activate the effect except Battlin Boxer. So if you're kind of seeing this, how this archetype works is, yeah, dump a bunch of stuff, you can special summon it. There are other combos and whatnot, but that's what I like to do the best in my opinion. Next, I like to play 3 copies of Battlin Boxer Glassjaw. When this card is targeted for an attack, destroy this card. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target 1 Battlin Boxer monster in your graveyard except Battlin Boxer Glassjaw. Add that target to your hand. So it works really, really well in combination with stuff like Battlin Boxer Gearhead, which obviously lets you dump 1 from your deck, and then its effect will pop off, which works pretty well as well. Next, I like to run 3 copies of Battlin Boxer Sparer. So its effect is if you control a Battlin Boxer monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, you cannot conduct your battle phase for the rest of this turn. Now, this card works really, really well just to get another body on the field. However, if you know anything about Battlin Boxers, you know it's not the most meta-relevant type deck, right? But it's definitely something that's really, really fun to play with. So Sparer is definitely something you need just to put bodies on the floor. Next, I like to run 2 copies of Battlin Boxer Shadow. Now, Shadow is also a really, really dope card. During your main phase, you can detach 1 Xyz material from a Battlin Boxer Xyz monster you control, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. You can only use this effect of Battlin Boxer Shadow once per turn. Now, what I'm thinking about, honestly, is switching these to 2 and these to 3, just because this doesn't have the negative repercussion of not being able to attack. So I think that's probably the way that I'm going to be going in the future. Next are the non-Battlin Boxer monsters. I like to run 3 copies of Goblinberg. Now, this card is really, really well, works really, really well because if it's a normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower monster from your deck, then change this card to defense position. So it really helps in getting level 4 bodies on the field, helps you get any type of rank monsters out for combos. Next, I like to run 2 copies of Kage to Kage. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I suck at pronunciations. Cannot be normal summon set. When you normal summon a level 4 monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. That works really, really well because, as we saw earlier, some of the Battlin Boxer effects, for you to take advantage of them, you need to be able to normal summon those monsters. So when those are normal summoned, you can take advantage of this and special summon this. Next, I like to run 2 copies of Astral Karibo. Now, I was thinking of putting this up to 3, but you also have to factor in that this kind of locks you into number rank monsters, if I remember correctly. You can reveal 1 number Xyz monster from your extra deck, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, that card's level becomes the revealed monster's rank. So that works so well, and it really, really speeds up the deck overall, just getting into rank 4s and whatnot. However, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except a number Xyz monsters. Like going into the extra deck, there are a decent amount. Just in the extra deck, for example, Battlin Boxer Lead Yoke, that card itself is not obviously a number monster. So that's why I'm choosing to run 2. But if you feel like 3 is the way to go, it definitely does help. Next are the hand traps. So you can switch these out for anything you please, but I'm just going with kind of the basics. 3 copies of Ash, 2 copies of Ghost Bell, and 2 copies of Effect Veiler. This obviously can be infinite permanence or whatever. I just let my one of my friends borrow my Blue Eyes deck, which is currently where my Infinite Permanence is in right now. So I am going to be using Effect Villa in this situation temporarily. Next, I like to run 3 copies. Okay, moving on to the spell cards. I like to run 3 copies of Battlin Boxer Spirits. Now, this card is really, really good for this archetype. You can send the top card of your deck to the graveyard, then target 1 Battlin Boxer monster in your graveyard, special summon that target in defense position. You can only activate 1 Battlin Boxer Spirits per turn. Now, this is a great Monster Rebornish card. It helps dump a bunch of your cards in the grave, which has potential to set up more combos. And on top of that, you get a free special summon out of it. So that works really, really well. One thing you got to think about is that it's once per turn. Next, I like to run 2 copies of Rank Up Magic Numeron Force. Now, this is also one I'm thinking about switching to 3, or I might use Rank Up Magic, the 7th one, as my 3rd. You can target 1 face-up Xyz monster you control, special summon from your X deck 1 number C monster with the same type as that monster you control, but 1 rank higher by using it as the Xyz material. The special summon is treated as an Xyz summon. Xyz material, blah, blah, blah. Then if any face-up cards on the field other than this card, and the monster summoned by it, negate the effects of those cards. So it works really, really well to just negate everything your opponent's doing and popping off certain combos. Next, I like to run 2 copies of Xyz Import. Its effect is you can target an Xyz monster you control and 1 monster your opponent controls with less than or equal to attacking it. Attach it to your attach that opponent's monster to your monster as material. So this card works great. This card is a great card just to get rid of some of your opponent's pesky monsters in general. Next, I like to run 1 copy of Double or Nothing. Of course, anytime you're running a rank 4, Utopia Double is a must-have. I like to run 1 copy of Monster Reborn. I think this is also a must-have just for, since you're going to be dumping so much stuff in the grave, being able to revive works really, really well. I also like to run 1 copy of Reinforcements to the Army. Reinforcements to the Army works really well as well, just being able to add any of your warrior monsters from your deck to your hand. I also like to run Foolish Burial, just help you dump more stuff in the grave. This last card, I'm thinking about experimenting with this. This is Pot of Avarice. Since you're dumping so much stuff in the grave, target 5 monsters in your grave, shuffle all 5 to the deck, and draw 2 cards. So far, it is working really, really well for me. What I like to do when I'm testing cards is I like to run it at 1. If that works well, I'll move it up to 2, and if that works well, I'll move it up to 3. So I'm in still, like I would say, the beginning stages of testing a card, but definitely I would say you need at least 2 or 3 of these. It's a good card. Moving forward to the extra deck. So starting off, I like to run 2 copies of Battlin Boxer Lead Yoke. Now, this card is a pretty decent card. It takes 2 level 4 Battlin Boxer monsters. So you need to make sure that you got your Battlin Boxers ready to go. If a Battlin Boxer monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card instead of destroying one of those monsters, which works really, really well. It just gives you some protection. When an Xyz materials is detached from this card, it gains 800 attack. That's great. That's a great card because you use this effect, you detach a material, and then automatically it'll be put at 3,000. And it has potential to go higher. You know, if you're using 2 materials, then it goes to 38, which is great. Next, I like to run 2 copies of number 79. So this card is called number 79, Battlin Boxer Nova Kaiser. So it just takes 2 level 4 monsters. This one's completely generic. Once per turn, you can attach 1 Battlin Boxer from your hand or graveyard to this card's Xyz material. This card gains 100 attack for each Xyz material attached to it. When this card you control is destroyed by your opponent's card by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can target level 4 or lower Battlin Boxers in your graveyard up to the number of Xyz materials this card and special summon those targets. So this card works great in my opinion. This is a great card. It just works so well in popping off many combos, especially if your opponent manages to get rid of this card. You have a bunch of other ways that you can go. I like to run next 1 copy of Battlin Boxer Star I don't know how to pronounce that, dude. Cestus. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at that. It takes 3 level 4s, which is why I only play 1 of them, because it does get a little bit hard to summon compared to the rest of them. But during either player's battle step, if a Battlin Boxer monster you control battles an opponent's monster, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, negate the effects of the opponent's monster until the end of this turn. That monster you control cannot be destroyed by a battle. Your opponent also takes any battle damage that you would have taken. Plus, since we're rank climbing anyway, I like to run 1 copy of number C105. This thing normally would take 4 level 5s, but we rank Clement, so not as bad, right? When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the destroyed monster's original attack. If this card has the number 105 Battlin Boxer says the first thing on the left as material, you can target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and if you do, inflict damage equal to the opponent's monster that's attack. So that works great in this deck. Next, I like to run 2 copies of number 101. 101 is a great card, but mostly I like to use it to rank up into number C 101. And this is why I wanted to run 3 of the rank up spells, because Silent Honor Dark is a great card, let's be honest. Once per turn, you can target one special summon monster your opponent controls, attach it to this card as a face-up Xyz material. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, while it has Xyz material, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, then gain life points equal to the attack of this card. Number 101, Silent Honor Arc, must be in your graveyard to activate and resolve this effect. So it just overall works really great. Moving forward, I like to run 1 copy of Tornado Dragon. This is just for spell/trap removal. You already know sometimes you have to deal with that type of stuff. I also like to run 1 copy of Utopia, and obviously Utopia Double. But if you end up with double or nothing or whatever in your hand, I also like to run 1 copy of number S39. And then lastly, of course, it's an Xyz deck, so you know you have to run Divine Arsenal Double A Zeus. And overall, I think this deck is pretty good. It definitely needs some new support. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was an anime archetype. You guys can correct me and down below. I didn't actually go through all of the Xyz anime, so that's why I've been told it's an anime archetype at least. But overall, this deck is pretty fun. It's just a fun deck to play around with. Obviously, I highly doubt you're going to win any tournaments or anything with it, but it's definitely something that's fun to play around with. But anyways, guys, this is Plotter Cards signing out for the day. If you like what you saw, don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. And oh my goodness, look at the time.
It's time to do.